Brookside Consulting helps clients of all sizes find the best path to the cloud for business communications, including unified communications as a service, contact center as a service, and video conferencing as a service. These cloud-based solutions only work when you have always-on internet, which is why we also help you with SD WAN and Fiber. Overall, we're helping you as a telecom consulting company get the best solution to meet your particular needs and budget. We have a large base of customers from forehands and some of the schools to RFX to Citizens, the new Stalker Stadium, St. Michael's, Hayes County. These are all good clients of ours. So Brookside Consulting is a full service firm focused on phones, video, contact centers, and internet. Most companies sell one product and have limited experience with phones and contact centers. We're different. Here's what we can do to help save you time and money. Get together and determine if your specific needs and goals for what the perfect provider looks like. Discuss the latest collaboration technology, omni-channel contact center, AI, analytics, and more. Vendor agnostic, so our recommendation is based purely on your specific needs and budget. We set up discovery meetings and demos and get pricing from up to 170 service providers and carriers. We can also provide a complete RFP with your specifications to help level the playing field if you want to go that route. We help integrate your business software, including Microsoft Teams, Salesforce, NetSuite, when all this stuff all works together. Not all people in this space do. In most cases, our decades of experience is free to the client because the provider is the one who pays us. So what it comes down to, since we can have up to 170 different providers, what's the best cloud provider to meet your particular needs and budget? So when we start looking at them, they're all over the map. Some are better than others at certain things. And that's where it's interesting. And you figure out which one is best for your client, for your particular situation. So some of the things we use are like the Gartner Magic Quadrant, which gives you the good, the bad, and the ugly on all the industry's top providers. From unified communication service, once again, your phone system in the cloud, to contact center in the cloud, as well as video meeting solutions in the cloud. These are all things that, like I said, require always on internet, which is provided by SD WAN. So here's information on all the best WAN infrastructure providers. We also have in here on our website the top UCaaS providers of 2021, and we work with all of them. The top video providers as well. We work with all those and get quotes. So it really comes down to what makes the most sense. Another thing that we look at is how often are these systems, are these solutions going down? So I mean, you look at Mitel and 8base, they've been down 3 times in the last year. Ring Central 11, and of course Zoom and Microsoft Teams. I think this would surprise a lot of people to see how frequently these particular applications have issues and problems. So it may or may not be the best fit for your particular business, as you're probably finding out. Also, business software integration is another step that's usually missed by most people in this space because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the difference between Oracle's NetSuite, HubSpot, Zendesk, ServiceNow, Slack, or even Salesforce. I mean, if they do, it's very unique. The other problem that you have out there is the average employee has to log into 3 different collaboration tools, to be able to do his job, multiple logins and passwords. So whether you're using Zoom, you're using Mitel, using Google Meet, 8base Work app, these are all things that, people are using out there today, or the most people are probably generally moving towards Microsoft Teams, which is obviously a really good solution from Microsoft that allows people to get together. And if you chat, video meetings, file storage, and it just totally integrates the Microsoft 365 experience. However, in most offices, what you have when you have Microsoft Teams is you'll have a legacy phone system still in place, to make and receive external calls. So I'm using Microsoft Teams for all internal voice calls, video meetings, chat, task management, storage, which is all slick. Anytime I need to go outside the system, I either have to use my Avaya or NEC or Cisco phone to be able to make a ShoreTel or even Mitel, any of these desk phones to be able to make and receive external calls outside the company. Some people have already moved to the cloud and have these Polycom phones on their desk from different carrier, different providers, Yealink, or they have Cisco. All these are phones that will all work with Teams. Now, what happens here is you can get rid of them, though, your legacy phone hardware and lines, or even your cloud provider, and move voice to Microsoft Teams and use it as your phone system. It's easy to implement and set up and use. There's no change to the Teams user experience. And next thing you know, from the calls button, they're able to make and receive calls with the Teams app. Now, why is this so much better? I mean, one app for everything: voice, chat, video, screen sharing, task management, everything, all in one login, one app, any device. Next thing you know, the call button comes alive. You're able to click on different contacts and make and receive calls. There's a dial pad there. You can click on the contacts, like I said, and or, there's also business SMS. All this stuff works very slick within one app within Microsoft. So it's really a client. And you tie it back to a really good calling plan from a more of an enterprise level solution like 8x8 or Mitel. So there's the mobile app. The mobile app's able to get into the stores. So you've got the ability to put this on any device and really look like you're at your desk all the time. So then, some people still want desk phones. You don't really require them in many cases, but we can work with pretty much it. It's just a matter of what makes the most sense for your users. We get into this, whether it's Polycom, Cisco, Yealink, or Mitel. Polycom's got this acoustic fence technology, which is really good for open air type, environments. They've got really slick phones. These work with most of the providers out there. They have their own headsets. Poly is part of Polycom and Plantronics where they merge. So you've got your headsets, your phones, all this stuff all comes together. From your speakerphones in your conference rooms, to basically being able to integrate things in with Teams. Lots of stuff is starting to integrate with Teams, and we know how to make that work. Another solution, though, with Mitel, they have their own phones. They work, they have cordless handsets, cordless headsets. They integrate with Bluetooth to your mobile phones. They make a really slick phone. So if you're really into the best desktop experience, Mitel is pretty much the unique in that department because everybody else is going to be using Poly, Yealink, or Cisco SIP phones. Always on internet. That's another important part of this. Always got connectivity to the cloud. It's no longer a luxury. It's essential for today's cloud-based solutions. They don't work, if they don't have access. So we like SD WAN from Bella Cloud, which is part of VMware. It's got automatic failover built into it. It's managed by NHC. You've got either fiber, coax, and then you even fail over to 5G or 4G, whatever your needs are to be able to keep everything operating properly. So always on internet is essential in today's cloud-based world where everything is an app. None of these apps will work if you don't have internet access. So it starts with that. So we want to provide the highest level of business continuity with the best possible employee and customer experience. So being able to have Microsoft Teams, the contact center, remote users, and video conferencing all work properly, you have to have the right internet connection. So when we say always on internet, this is what it looks like when it's working. So we got fiber coming into the box, everything's cool, users are happy, everything's working like it's supposed to. Then the internet goes down. So option one is failover to coax. So if the fiber goes out, we can fail over to coax from any one of these providers as you see from the bottom because we work with all of them. Then, of course, option two is failover to a second fiber connection. So many times today, people, depending on their usage, are having two connections to fiber because they just want to make sure that they never go down. The other way to do it is to take, if the fiber goes down, and move to 5G wireless. All these, start using these 5G towers that are all over town. That's another way to be able to maintain business continuity. At the end of the day, that's what we need to have to be able to provide cloud-based solutions for voice, video, contact center, and always on internet. So we help you find the right, UCaaS, BCaaS solution up there with the right phones, the right CCaaS or contact center solution, and the right always on internet connection. So a lot of information is at our website at www.brooksidus.com, where we have sections on voice, video, contact center, Microsoft Teams. We have a tab specifically for Microsoft Teams and voice, the Gartner Magic Quadrant, which has a lot of good useful information, GovEd and nonprofits, connectivity and SD WAN, and a really nice blog. All these things come together to give you, a lot of information you can use to help make an intelligent decision. It really, at the end of the day, all comes down to your current monthly cost per user and what you're spending, and of course, what it would cost for their solution. So if you take a look at all your phone bills and your internet access, whatever you're paying for maintenance and software assurance, or whatever you're paying a cloud provider, and then you take a look at what you're spending on IT resources to be able to manage all that, and security, things of that nature. And then if you've got a separate cloud-based collaboration apps, all these are things that enter into, along with web chat and their pay-per-click, into your total monthly cost. You divide that by the number of users to get your cost per user. And that's where it all starts. So cloud communications, UCaaS, CCaaS, SD-WAN, Brookside Consulting, www.brooksidus.com.